Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Debbie, and together
We are the Roundtable Recap. Hey, welcome back. We are on Traitors US Season 3, Episode 6, and kicking it right off, it's the Traitors turret. And I feel like Carolyn is the only one that's really honest here with saying that she wants to eliminate both of the traitors at this point.
Yes.
And, what comes from the Traitors' turn is they are saying they want to do a clean slate, but it really is a mess, beginning of this episode because there's a lot of distrust, obviously, amongst the group.
Yeah, I thought Rob made a good point about, that the traders, they really have to work together. I mean, they may not like each other, but they have to work together. They have to come up with a plan and they have to move forward. I mean, that's the only way that they're going to succeed, in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, 100%, because I mean, they have to be an alliance. Otherwise, no traitor is going to survive at this point, and they're just going to eliminate themselves.
Right.
Yeah. But they do discuss three options of people, which are Wes, Ivor, and Bob. And amongst the three, I do feel that Ivor is the safest choice out of the three because Bob, he specifically brought up Rob's name at the round table in front of everybody.
Right.
And Wes, of course, I think he's made it clear amongst, if not all, most players that he's gunning for Rob or suspects Rob.
Yep.
Yep. So from this point on, they're supposed to be at a clean slate, and then moving to the breakfast the next day. Derek points out that he, really suspects Rob if he comes through the door because he feels like it's in the traitor's best interest to get rid of him.
Mhm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that statement because, again, I feel like Rob would be a really good shield for them because
Yeah.
people are going to suspect him. I mean, yes, he's a traitor, but they don't know that. But like, if I was a traitor and Rob wasn't a traitor, I would keep him around.
Right. And I think that's the difference between like a Big Brother player and a Survivor player. I mean, the Survivor, they'll keep people in to use as shields.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, Big Brother's Derek is coming from a different perspective. Yeah, so I didn't agree with his statement either. And then if you look at it, what he's saying about Rob is also true about Dylan. So,
Yeah,
but Dylan's name isn't brought up. Um, yeah,
yeah.
I didn't agree with Derek's statement, but I thought it was interesting that Ciara, right before everybody started coming in for breakfast, she tried to bring up about Danielle,
Hmm.
and I thought that was good because she didn't have enough time to get her
No,
point
she was cut
across, but
off.
yeah, because she said about Danielle and her crying, and then people came in. But I thought, oh, that was so good. That was such a good direction for her
Yeah.
to go on.
Which I feel like happens every time Danielle's name gets brought up. Like it's like
I
sprinkled in
know.
there, but then all of a sudden it just like the direction or the attention is diverted. Like it just
Yeah.
happens to be that way. Um, but yeah, this is where you find out that they decide to go with Bob, which I thought would have put like the biggest target on Rob amongst the group, but it wasn't even
Right.
discussed that like, hey, he called out Rob. Another person that really went after Rob is now gone. I don't
Right.
know. I felt like that one was
Yeah.
on point to Rob. If
Yeah. I
anything,
think
yeah.
Ivor would have been a safer bet, but
Mhm.
there must have been some discussions, and maybe they thought, maybe they could work with Ivor. I don't know why Bob H was picked over Ivor, but
Yeah. Yeah, I
that
don't
was the
know either.
decision.
And then I had to laugh because, it's like a conversation. They're still at the breakfast table, but Gabby, I think, is the one who brings up Tom or says something to amongst like, Tom, you're not going to be eliminated because nobody believes your theories. And
I know.
and then they like pan to Tom, and he's like, "Well, I have some good evidence sometimes," and she's like rolling her
Right.
eyes.
Yeah, no, not really.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
But moving after breakfast, this is where Tom pulls aside Brittany, and his latest theory now is Dolores. So that's
mhm.
who he's kind of sticking throughout this episode, is suspecting her.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, Rob is trying to plant seeds regarding Wes to get him out. And he starts to talk to Ivor and Dolores. Also, so after he's like talking to Brittany, then again, you see him trying to plant seeds about Dolores. And I had to laugh because he was saying it with Wes and Derek.
I
And it
know.
doesn't even show like they interacted or acknowledge him. They're just like, okay, well, we need to talk. And they just like
Right.
booted him from
Yeah,
the
can you
room.
leave?
Yeah.
Can you leave? Because we need to discuss. We
Yeah.
need to discuss strategy.
Yeah. They're like, there he is
So
again. There's Tom and
I
his
know.
theories.
Poor
But
Tom.
yeah.
So yeah, so Rob is pushing for Wes and Derek and Wes. Well, it was actually Derek that started pushing for Rob, and
Hmm.
because in the beginning Wes was unsure. He's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And and Derek is pretty sure that Rob's a traitor, whereas
Yep.
Wes, was on the fence still.
Yeah, and that's why they boot Tom out of the room is because they want to
Yeah,
discuss Rob being a
yeah.
potential traitor. And then on a side note, you have Carolyn over here with Brittany, and Brittany
Hmm.
alludes to the fact that it's Danielle that's saying or bringing up Carolyn's name. And right
Yeah,
away, Carolyn's upset. But like, I even questioned, she didn't ask or wasn't shown that what day was this? Was it the prior day? Was it, before the traders decided to do a clean slate? Like, she just
right,
assumed it was that
right.
day. And then
Yeah,
she was like, "Oh, all bets are off," basically.
yeah. Yeah, Carolyn is upset. Yeah, I thought that was kind of strange that she didn't clarify when was her name brought up. Was it brought up in this morning, or was it yesterday? But I think maybe she was under the impression that Danielle had talked about her. The other people had brought up her name, but I think Carolyn didn't realize how many people
Yeah.
Danielle had brought up. I think that's probably what upset her more than anything. That Danielle really had this big plan just the day before,
Yeah.
and talked to so many people. So I think that was when Carolyn realized the scope of, yeah, Danielle.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense because I'm like, why is she upset? She knew that Danielle was planting seeds about Carolyn and was going for her yesterday. But
Right.
yeah. So that would make sense of why she was so
Yeah.
upset. So yeah, moving on to the mission. This is where they have to get the crates to blow up the big trader, and then of course there's 3 shields that people can win along the way.
Mhm.
And I
And,
thought it
and
was oh
did you see Layla
yeah, I
or
do
Lala?
have a note. Layla with her little matching bow.
Yeah.
I love the little outfits. I know I forgot to call it out in the last episode. They're adorable.
Yeah.
They match
So
Alan.
yeah, so coordinated.
Yeah, it's cute. Uh,
It
but
is.
I thought it was interesting that they didn't have a traitor in each group. I
Yeah.
mean, Rob, he took one group, but Danielle and Carolyn, they stayed together. And I thought that wasn't a wise decision because it puts them at a disadvantage of knowing like who got the shield from the group, which
Yeah, I
all
thought
3
that was
groups, yeah, got their shield.
right. Yeah, I thought that was a poor strategy on Carolyn and Danielle's part, because I know Rob, he shouted out about two men and 2 women
Yeah,
on each team, and I think it was kind of like a hint for Danielle and Carolyn.
Carolyn to split up. Yeah,
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, don't be on the same one. One can
yeah.
take each one. Yeah,
I know. I almost feel kind of bad for Rob getting stuck with Carolyn and Danielle as traders to work with because
I know.
they just don't have like a good team strategy or a plan, really. Like it's a very selfish game that they're playing, I feel.
Hmm. Yeah, more
Um,
emotional. Yeah, I think
mhm.
they're playing a more emotional game than whereas he's a more strategic player.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, how did you like when on Carolyn's team when they opened up the shield? The
Oh, and she just grabs it.
I
Yeah,
know. Tom is like, what? No
yeah,
discussion.
yeah. She's like, oh no, I'm taking it. I know. I mean, I guess it's helpful, yeah, for the Traitors to grab it to keep less people safe. But yeah, she really isn't in any danger at this point
Right.
of being voted. But yeah,
No.
she went for it. She
Yeah.
wanted it.
Yeah, she grabbed it.
Yeah.
And but I thought it was funny on the other two teams how they decided who was going to get the shield.
Oh, rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think Derek was trying to make an argument for why he needed a shield, and then they're like rock paper scissors.
hmm
It's
I think I
like,
mean, it is the only fairest way because you don't have time to argue or, it's a
right.
time limited mission. So I feel like, yeah, it's the fairest way to get the shields at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that both the other two teams, and then Alan's comment about that all three teams went for the shield first instead of the gunpowder, and he's
hmm
like, it's so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everyone, they're like, forget the money. We need the shield. We need the safety.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
I mean, but they did end up, getting enough gunpowder and they banked the money. So it was a win across the
yeah.
board. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also like Alan's comment about when they were trying to get the gunpowder to blow up the traitor, but and I had to play it a couple of times because I didn't catch it all. But Alan said, they don't even have enough. Don't even have enough to blow up a statue of Layla. Never mind a
Ugh,
20-foot statue of a traitor.
yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
So that's all I had about the mission. And then after the
Uh-huh.
mission, they go back to the castle. And this is where Wes tells Dolores that Tom suspects her. But they kind of like dismiss it because Wes is like, I don't believe that you're, a
Right.
traitor. And then I feel like they're not doing any favors to Tom because they they show him standing at a table by
Oh,
himself, just like
I know.
scarfing his food down. I'm like, what is what
Yeah,
is even the point of this like clip?
I know. I know. That Tom's in a world by himself. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean he doesn't even take the time to like sit down. Like he literally is just standing there, just scarfing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so I had to
Well,
write
what was
that
it?
down.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, Dolores made the comment about that Tom hasn't had a lot of attention in his younger
Oh,
years.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then this is kind of like that time where they show Tom by himself. Yeah.
I
I'm like,
know.
poor Tom. He's already nobody
Uh,
takes him seriously, and then yeah, the cuts
yeah.
aren't doing him any good. Yeah. Uh,
Uh, I like Tom, but
yeah. It's comical. Like, yeah, you got
yes,
different aspects definitely of this season of the comic relief. Um,
right.
but yeah, this is also where Derek he goes and tells Ivor that he's going to go after Rob as well. And so it's just kind of, trying to gather the votes to get Rob out. And then
Right.
you also have Rob bringing up Wes now to Tom and Gabby. And then also, like, you just have a bunch of discussions going on. But then meanwhile, Carolyn is planting
Hmm.
the seed also about Danielle to people.
Yeah, I think yeah, Carolyn is just playing an emotional game at this point.
hmm
So
Yeah,
yeah.
not strategic at all. So then also additionally you have Wes going up to Brittany and Sam to talk about Rob. And it kind of backfires because now Brittany is focusing on Wes as being a potential traitor. So she goes to Derek and tells Derek that now she's starting to suspect Wes. And then that kind of it turns too because then now you see Derek at this point, I don't think he says anything to Brittany, but you see him in his confessional saying that he now is looking at Brittany because why is she so protective over Rob? And then in addition to that, Derek goes to Danielle to also talk about
Mhm.
Rob and that he's going to try
Yeah.
to get him out.
Yeah, I think Derek kind of expected that the Big Brother group would stick together. So when I think she went against what he was saying, I think he felt a little bit betrayed because in Big Brother, yeah, Brittany, and Danielle were all on at the same time. So he felt like
Oh, I didn't know
they
that.
should have been like a team. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also felt kind of bad for Rob because Danielle, obviously, his own Traitor Alliance person, didn't warn him, but Chriselle does in front of
Right.
Danielle to
Right.
say, hey, Wes is, calling your name out there. And he even asked Danielle. And like
Yeah.
she basically denies it and was like, no, I only hear Wes's name. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened to clear the state clear the
Hmm.
slate? Like that all went
Hmm.
out the door the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because yeah, in the turret, she was the one that said, "Yeah, I'll make it right. I'll make it right." And
and apologizes and
mhm, yeah, no, no, she's just playing her own game.
yeah. hmm So moving to the round table, Dolores starts off because she wants to confront Tom about, um, calling her out. But
All
they
right.
kind of like cut off that conversation because other people at the
Yeah.
table, which I believe is Derek, is like, no, 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 like we're not going to waste our time on this, because he, wants to bring up Rob, and he does make a
Right.
lot of good points in regards to Rob and Bob Q. But of course, Rob is equally as good at the round table, and
Yeah, I thought he was.
he
I thought his defense was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he even ropes Ivor into his argument just to
Yeah.
kind of like confuse them and just like take
Hmm.
the heat off of him specifically, and then is able to spin the story to point it at Wes. Like it is good. He is a good
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
deflector, whatever you want to call it, defender. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
It was
was
good.
prepared. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks to Chriselle. Not
Right.
thanks to any of his
No.
traders. Not his fellow traders, but thanks to Chriselle.
Yeah. Yeah. So And so when he brings up Wes, this is where Wes's downfall, because obviously Wes is the one who gets voted out. But this is where I think Rob was going to be the one to get voted out. But because Wes is like,
Hmm.
whoever votes for me, I got my eye on you, and people
Yes.
don't take that very kindly, whether you're faithful or not. So, yeah, I think that's what ultimately led to people getting him out.
Yeah, and people
Yeah.
took that as a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so if you're gonna threaten me, you know, I would vote for you.
Right. Right. And like this whole conversation is focused on Wes versus Rob. And
Right.
it's kind of like already like set that these two are going to be the ones that people are going to vote for. But then here you go. You got Carolyn like, "Oh no, no,
Mm,
no."
I
On a
know, I
sidetrack,
know. Ro
Danielle is the one who's causing the chaos and just
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and Rob's like, "What is going
yeah.
on?"
Yeah, it didn't need to be brought up at all. Didn't need to have any attention towards it, but here we go
Yeah,
again. So anyways, yeah, and then, Wes's speech when he was eliminated. Obviously, he was not happy, but I'm like, this is why he
right.
was on House of Villains. But yeah, and then I like Rob where he's like, got zero help for any of my traitors because Danielle votes for Rob and
I
Carolyn votes
know.
for Danielle. Like none of them voted for Wes. Like,
I know, and it was so close. It was so close. It came
mhm.
down to 6 for Wes and 5 for Rob, so it's like, okay, thanks to his fellow traders.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Brittany, she pulls Derek aside after, the round table and says that like he lied because Derek, when he first presented bringing Rob up, he said that he wasn't going to lead it. And then obviously
Mhm.
that was a lie where he led it. So now
Right.
I feel like there's, this friction between those two people. And then she
Right.
even goes to Dylan and oh no, I'm sorry, not she. It's Derek that goes to
Right.
Dylan and starts talking to him about possibly Rob and Brittany now being traitors.
Which I don't, of all people, why Dylan? Of all
Yeah,
people.
Dylan and Rob, you can tell they're close, or at least I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
known in game.
And, and even Dylan said at the round table that he defends Rob because Rob helped him get a traitor out,
Yeah.
So why, it just didn't, to me, it didn't make sense that Derek went to Dylan. I mean, he could have gone to anybody else
Hmm.
to tell his theory to, but he goes to Dylan. I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, so then this is where like this episode ends. Is back in the Traitors turret, as Rob puts it. It's a disaster. Like they're back to square
Yeah,
one. No one trusts
yeah,
anybody, and they
yeah,
kind of want each other out. And it ends with Carolyn basically saying that she's going to go after Danielle, and Danielle's like, "Okay, bring it. I'm going to
yep,
come back at you." So
yeah. Rob has said this is the worst group of
yeah,
traitors. I know.
poor Rob. Like he didn't have a
Yeah,
chance. Like
I know.
his
I
back was
know.
already up against the wall when he came in, and then you don't even have,
Yeah,
this alliance that, your other traders to work with. No,
I
he's
know.
he's out on his own. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I like the song that's played. It's a what's a broken heart between friends or enemies?
Yeah. It's very fitting. Very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we'll see how this Danielle versus Carolyn plays out in the next episode. And yeah, stay tuned for more.